IVM.
We would like to thank HDFC Life Insurance for supporting this show. HDFC Life Insurance has created an online video series called Behind the Journey with some of the most interesting people from the creative and entertainment industry. It explores the stories that are behind the glitz and glamour of the spotlight and screaming fans. Let's listen to a snippet from the episode featuring actor Jitendra Kumar.
Initially, जब मैं बहुत ऐसे कुछ चीज नहीं वर्क कर रही है एक्टिंग में, तो मैं बहुत पैनिक कर जाता था. तो काफी लोग मुझे सलाह देते थे कि नहीं, मतलब उतना पैनिक मत कर, मतलब धीरे धीरे ग्रो करेंगी चीजें. तो जिस तरह से तुम्हारा काम धीरे धीरे ग्रो करता है, एक दिन में नई चीजें मिलती हैं. आई थिंक तुम्हारा जो फाइनेंशियल साइड है उस पर भी तुम्हें ध्यान देना चाहिए, और वो भी धीरे धीरे डेवलप होता है. वो भी एक दिन में नहीं होता, और वो होने लगता है.
As Jitu said, steady growth is a good sign for both your finances and the journey of your dreams. You can watch all the episodes of Behind the Journey on the HDFC Life Insurance YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/HDFC Life. Take control of your personal goals with HDFC Life Insurance's financial solutions. Plan now with HDFC Life Insurance.
Terms and conditions apply. HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited, IRDAI registration number 101.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I'm Ashton Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with Google. Did you know that the company was originally called Backrub? The founders used this as the company's name because it used to collect backlinks to websites. Can you imagine telling a friend to backrub recipes of cauliflower rice instead of Google it? Then years later, when the founders were registering the company, they named it Google after the mathematical concept of Google, which is 1 followed by 100 zeros. Billions and billions of searches later, Google has become the way most of us access the web. We no longer remember website addresses. We just Google it. We don't remember a lot of stuff because we just know that Google will have it. However, it is critical for us to learn how to research. What is it we are searching for? How to hold that information in the mind? How to deal with two websites or studies that say the exact opposite thing? One of my biggest pet peeves is that most of our knowledge comes from this one sentence. They say. They say this is good for us. They say this is bad for us. And I've done a full podcast on why we should never listen to they say. Instead, you should learn the art of questioning everything. Today's episode comes from another closely related pet peeve, where we want to be spoon-fed information without actually doing the research ourselves. I often get messages from people saying, "Sir, where do I buy this from?" Or, "Sir, what is X, Y, and Z?" When I know that they haven't spent a minute trying to find it for themselves. I, as a rule, reply to everyone that emails or messages me because I feel that the spread of knowledge is so important. But it becomes valuable only if you have invested some time and effort into it. We have to become curious and learn to filter information. This is going to be the key to your continued growth and self-development. And I know you're interested in growth, which is why you're listening to this podcast. You're already ahead of 90% of the world. Now, to take it to the next level, here are 3 ways to supercharge your research. The first is the concept that Google will keep giving you results influenced by things that you've already searched for. So the first page will often have this as a concern. You'll get the most popular websites followed by ideas that reaffirm what you already know. So when you research something, always check out page 3 and 4 in the search as well. Don't just stop on the first page of that Google search. Very often, the way the word or the question is being put also affects the results. I have been a researcher for the last 15 years. My family business, Ormax Consultants, started off as a qualitative research company 35 years ago. And the first thing we learn as a researcher is to ask non-influencing questions. So I suggest first typing a keyword gluten instead of "is gluten bad for us?" or "harmful effects of gluten." Because if you type in a leading question like that, you will only get posts about how bad it is. you will never end up getting the whole picture. Which leads perfectly into the next tip, understanding the good and bad sides of everything. Very often we get on a tangent and search like crazy on a topic, never waiting to understand both sides of the conversation. We have to learn to think about the whole picture and then make a decision. For example, in the world of nutrition, I can give you lots of reasons for eating something and then lots of reasons for not eating that same thing. Everything can be bad for you. Everything can be good for you. The wisdom comes in understanding the context of when it is good and when it is bad. Similarly, you do a search on sleep and you'll get people saying sleep for 9 hours a night. Some saying all you need is 6 hours if you hack your sleep correctly. And other business motivation speakers say 5 hours or else you're wasting time. So put what you've learned in context because that is what is important. Finally, don't rely on just Google for all your answers. Research across podcasts. Some podcast apps allow you to search for keywords in episode names. Use that. Or then buy a book on the subject and then dig deep into it. What I like doing is having friends who are experts on topics and talking to them about it. Their research will have experience behind it. So your simple habit to grow and grow faster than everyone around you is to start becoming super curious. Then dig deep into research. Don't do surface level studies. Learn about all aspects, positives, negatives, before making a decision. As your habit coach, I will always be there to seed ideas and guide you through aspects of life. But you have to put in the work and research things further because that is how we grow. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashtin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
Welcome to Peak Planet, a new podcast where we delve into the fallouts of the growth path that we and indeed much of the world has chosen. Sustainable growth is the buzzword. Until we nail that down, we need to ensure that we keep our population healthy and also have the resources for our increasingly urban lifestyles. I'm Karthik Ganesan, a researcher at the Council on Energy, Environment and Water, a Delhi-based policy research institute where for almost a decade we've been trying to explain and change the use, reuse and misuse of our resources. In the first season of Peak Planet, we take up air pollution, public enemy number one and an invisible one at that. Increasingly the most important risk factor for adverse health outcomes, air pollution has become the most unwanted byproduct of our aggressively growing economy. Over 4 episodes, we find out how prepared our systems are to deal with this crisis. You can catch the entire first season of Peak Planet out now on the IVM Podcasts app or website, or wherever you get your podcast from.
माणसं गोलगप्प्यासारखी असतात. हाय हॅलो करताना वेगळी आणि बोलताना वेगळी आणि गप्पा मारताना वेगळी, मित्र झाली की वेगळी आणि शत्रू म्हणून वेगळी, थोडक्यात दिसणारी वेगळी आणि असणारी वेगळी, कधी आंबट, कधी गोड, कधी तिखट, तर कधी चमचमीत आणि कधी कधी हॉट अँड स्पायसी सुद्धा. आणि म्हणूनच गप्पा गोल गप्पा विथ तृप्ती खामकर फक्त तुमच्यासाठी दर बुधवारी IVM पॉडकास्टच्या ऍपवर, वेबसाईटवर किंवा युट्यूब चॅनलवर सुद्धा ऐकू शकता. तुम्ही आमचा पॉडकास्ट वेगवेगळ्या पॉडकास्ट प्लॅटफॉर्मवरती ऐकू शकता. फक्त सर्च करा गोल गप्पा विथ तृप्ती खामकर आणि आमचा पॉडकास्ट ऐकत रहा.